Copland's Emblems is one of those pieces that instantly exposes the truth about your ensemble balance, time, tone, tuning. And when performances fall apart, it's usually not because the band can't play it. It's because directors didn't build the right framework, how the harmony tunes, how the rhythm speaks, how the brass blends, and how tempo supports resonance. In the next 10 minutes, I'll give you a practical rehearsal-ready blueprint so you can program emblems with confidence and teach it with clarity.
Emblems is Copland's only work written specifically for advanced wind band, commissioned through CBDNA to enrich the repertoire with music representing the composer's best work, not something constrained by practical limitations. Copland also tells you how to interpret it. An emblem is a symbol, and the piece suggests musical states of being. Noble, aspirational, playful, spirited, leaving the final meaning to the listener. So, the goal isn't merely accuracy. The goal is to make each state speak, through sound and pacing. Copland is one of the defining American composers of the 20th century. He studied with Nadia Boulanger in Paris, absorbed Stravinsky's angular modernism, explored jazz color and rhythm, then forged an accessible folk-influenced voice. It's the sound many directors think of as American Copland: open harmonies, clear tunes, and spacious textures. Yet he never stayed in one box. Later, he blended approaches across his career. Think of it as multiple eras speaking to each other. That matters in Emblems, because you can hear more than one Copland at once. Listen for shifts along this timeline: modernist edges, jazz inflections, folk clarity, and a hybrid finish. Multiple eras, one voice. Copland.
The commission begins with a 1963 letter from Keith Wilson, representing CBDNA. That document set the project in motion and framed the work's intent for wind band. The piece premiered on December 18, 1964, in Tempe, Arizona. Structurally, it's grade 6 and tripartite: fast, slow, fast. The middle behaves like a set of variations: color, texture, and motive in flux. The close reads as a modified recapitulation: familiar material, newly voiced. If you want a quick teaching handle, think materials, not functional syntax. The piece does not rely on traditional functional harmony or serialism. It's built from stacked fifth sonorities, scalar fragments, and rhythmic transformations tied to the amazing grace rhythm.
If your loud section sounds like a brick wall, you're not balancing. If the trumpets steamroll the motives, you're missing the point. Time to rehearse like an orchestra, not a shouting match. Copland often thinks orchestrally, even for winds. If you don't honor that, you get brittle color and lost detail. Your job: prevent obvious sound from covering important sound. Example, around measure 104. High brass carry a broad motive at an extreme dynamic. Woodwinds share that broad motive. Still huge, still singing. Low reeds add the crisp 16th note detail. Saxes reinforce the inner mechanism: time, texture, teeth. Low brass lock the pulse and clarity underneath. If F becomes a wall, the inner texture vanishes. First move: rehearse big tutties at mezzo forte. Demand the detail is audible at MF. If not there, it won't survive at FF. Second move: build brass like an orchestral brass choir. Let trumpets support the horns, not storm ahead. Same for cornets. Color the horns, don't cover them. Run the balance test. Can you hear every inner line at MF? Label the pages. Mark who matters and when. Keep dynamics layered, not leveled. Then Emblems blooms, with clarity, with color, and with every hinge in Copland's writing singing. Balance first, then turn it up.
Now we hit the trickiest part of this piece. The middle section brings playful, jazz-inspired rhythm, and articulation can ruin it. Here's the problem most ensembles face. When the tempo picks up, players instinctively attack with their tongue instead of their air. Because of the brisk tempo, accents should come from stronger air support, not a harder tongue. Otherwise, the style gets heavy. Think of it like this: your air is the engine, your tongue is just the steering wheel. Separation between notes helps keep the character light and clear. Copland also demands fast, clear tonguing in several passages, and the guide is blunt. Harsh tonguing obstructs motion and distracts the listener. It's like trying to dance while wearing concrete boots. So here are 2 rehearsal tools that actually work. First, accent extraction. Have players perform only the accented notes of a line to feel the dance-like syncopation and where the phrase actually leans. This strips away the clutter and reveals the rhythmic skeleton. Second tool, fast air, light tongue as your ensemble mantra for clarity without weight. Drill it until it is muscle memory. Your ensemble will thank you.
Stop guessing your intervals. Do this instead. Tune the fifths open. Harmonically, Copland gives only occasional glimpses of traditional progressions. Even then, accompaniment lines can become chromatic and obscure tonality. You hear direction, but not a textbook cadence. So, how do you keep the harmony intelligible? By tuning priorities, then shaping lines with intention. Start with 2 targets, fifths and seconds. First, fifths. Aim for open, ringing fifths in exposed sonorities. Let them resonate. Prioritize alignment over volume. Avoid forcing vibrato or heavy weight. Clarity here creates a harmonic spine. When the fifths ring, the texture gains orientation. Second, seconds. Don't let them collapse into a muddy unison. Widen them just enough that each pitch has identity, but not so wide they sound out of ensemble. Here's the director gold. The guide tells you exactly what to tune. As accompaniment becomes chromatic or abstracted, shape the line dynamically. A subtle lift on important passing tones reveals the harmonic pull. Quick rehearsal tip. Isolate the intervals on sustained tones, then add chromatic lines and test tiny contours. Faster isn't better if you lose the music. Tempo is transparency. Tempo matters in emblems, not as an isolated trick. Your tempo must protect 4 pillars of ensemble sound. Core note length. Keep notes full and sustained, letting resonance bloom. Clean rhythm. No rushing, even subdivisions align to the pulse. Stable tuning, especially in 5th and 2nd sonorities. Lock the beats until they disappear. Balance. Let inner details breathe. Clarity must remain audible at every dynamic. Start by testing tempos where each pillar survives pressure. Can you keep the core note full and resonant? Can you keep the rhythm even and unhurried? Can you keep the tuning steady in all intervals? Can you keep the texture clear and transparent? A practical path. Simplify difficult lines first. Equalize rhythms at a slower pace, deliberately. That reveals direction and flow without the panic of speed. Then rebuild. Restore original rhythms gradually and intentionally. Nudge the tempo up only as long as transparency holds. Move the tempo up until any pillar starts to wobble. Then back off a touch to regain clarity. Pick tempos your ensemble can execute with honesty, not ones that only look impressive on a metronome. Run the clarity first tempo test. That's how tempo becomes musical, not just fast. Stop playing every note like it's the last one. Shape the line. When we clip phrases, emblem sounds disjointed and tense. Think direction, not ticks. Energy that carries forward. Big phrases emerge from well-shaped small motives. Start simple. Take a 2-note motive. Connect them with a single breath and intention. Or a 3-note cell. Give it contour and aim. Now repeat it, nudging the tonal center each time. That creates momentum and destination without extra notes. It gives learners a clear thread to follow and feel. When one line splits across registers, isolate first. Teach the upper voice by itself, find its arc. Then the lower voice, shape, breath, and release. Each register needs its own logic, timing, and color. Only after each is secure, recombine the parts. Listen for how the shapes interlock and balance. Breathe at phrase ends. Reset the line, not the bar. Let motives answer one another. Cause and effect. The result? Coherent melody and expressive choices. Quick recap. Motif to melody, isolate registers, then recombine with shape. Go hear the difference.
You will never waste rehearsal time on emblems again after this 3-step plan. Want clarity and style in 1 hour? Keep listening. Quick recap. Here are the first 3 rehearsals. First, architecture and tuning, set intonation and structure. Second, clarity mechanics, clean articulation, and precise balance. Third, style and motion, phrasing, and physical pulse. Now we pick up where that leaves off. I'll explain to you how to run rehearsal 3. So the band breathes together, shaping each phrase. So the band moves and grooves with the pulse. So the band stays alive and engaged musically. Start with intent. Remind players of the ABA roadmap in 1 sentence. Say it out loud to anchor the form. Then play the first 2 bars softly to reveal the shape, so everyone hears the shape and contour. Next, target the middle section for motion. Tell winds to use faster air for lift. Tell winds to use a lighter tongue for clarity. Demonstrate a short phrase at rehearsal tempo first. Immediately repeat with the dance phrasing you want. Now extraction. Pull out your accents clearly. Have the ensemble clap the accents first to feel them, or count the accents first to internalize rhythm. Then play only the accented notes to isolate them. That isolates them and gives players concrete rhythmic landmarks. Balance is next. Protect inner lines. Put the 2 loud tutty sections in place to anchor. Lower surrounding voices by a hair so inner lines survive. Don't just say play softer. Actually demonstrate the comparison. Play tutty full to show the weight and power. Then play tutty minus inner voices so lines survive. Finally, lock transitions for seamless form. Run ABA as connected gestures, not detached chunks. Breathe together on phrase starts to align attacks. Do 2 full run-throughs with short feedback between each. Keep notes short and critique. 1 fix at a time. If you want another video on emblems that is section by section rehearsal fixes, comment emblems and tell me what you're programming. Want a clarinet-focused follow-up? Comment that. Want a brass-focused follow-up? Comment that. Now, end with a short warm-up phrase everyone can hum together. Then go play and make music. What we have explained are all the things I wish I knew before programming emblems. The great things is these ideas work for other pieces also. Let's make it repeatable. If you enjoyed this director blueprint, you'll love my rehearsal concept videos. Subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown of other works. Comment the specific title you want me to cover next and I'll build a rehearsal map for it. Also, check out my other videos on music of serious artistic merit or ensemble concepts. You won't be sorry you did. Now, go make music.